What is up, YouTube? Topher Peterson here again with Misadventures in Startups. And in this episode, I want to talk about week 8 of Startup School 2019. It's 6:30 in the morning right now. I've been up all night programming. It's kind of typical for me. I didn't really plan on staying up this late, though. However, it was kind of a big night. I succeeded. I didn't try. I just submitted the big redesign of my app to Apple in the App Store for review. The big update for Android I already released several days ago, or like a week ago or something. Sorry, I'm really, really tired. But anyway, that was my big goal for Startup School this year. Prior to Startup School starting, my app, Money Phone, it's a personal finance app. If you look at previous episodes, I talk about what it is and everything. It's just a personal finance app that I built to help me monitor my spending. Anyway, prior to Startup School this year, I had already launched my product as a web app, and then during the Pioneer Tournament, which is kind of like Startup School, it's like a 1 month kind of deal, or it used to be a 1 month kind of deal. Anyway, during Pioneer this year, which I also vlogged about, I launched the mobile version of the app, but it was very, very ugly. It didn't really look like an app. It was like a website that I just kind of like turned into an app with Apache Cordova. So anyway, we're going to fast forward to Startup School, and my big goal was to finish this rewrite of my app to make it look more like an app, and just completely redesign everything so that it looked better. And I took the information that I wanted users to see and put it right up in their face so it didn't get buried. The original version of the app, the back-end code isn't all that much different from what I have today, but I didn't really design the front end. There was no design. I mean, I had the information in the app that I wanted, but the finished product, things were not organized well. So anyway, I launched the big redesign about a week ago or so for Android, and I just pushed out here at 6:30 a.m. or whatever. I finally submitted the iOS version of the app. Not everything has gone how I wanted things to go. A couple weeks ago or a week ago or whatever, I thought the big redesign was about done, and I pushed it to production, and then I discovered there was like a huge problem with the app. I was assuming that I could pull a lot more financial data in one query from Plaid. That's the company that I use, the API, to get all the financial data for my app. And I don't know why I overlooked that on the test net. I guess I was like, hey, maybe they, for whatever reason, these test accounts don't go back that far. But I soon found out Plaid limits your transactions that you can query to like 250. So it was a big, big problem for my app, and I had to kind of hack together a solution. So right now where the app is, it's a little slower than I wanted it to be, because I had to kind of make some patches to make it work. So it's slower than I wanted it to be, and the data in the app only goes back like 2 months now. So there's the current month, 1 month ago, and then 2 months. So I guess you get three months-ish of data. So that's where I'm at right now. I accomplished a big part of my goal, launching this redesign of the app. There are some flaws that I'm going to have to take care of to really get things to where I want them to be. But they're not, huge things. I just want to have, instead of, 2 or 3 months of financial data, I'd like 12. And then I need to speed the app up. So I'm going to have to add caching back in, which is going to complicate some things. But that's where I'm at. It's just a little bit slow, and I want the financial history to go back a little bit further. And then the other goal was I wanted to try and get some more users before the end of Startup School. The only problem with that is I'm not super happy with where the app is at right now. So I don't know if I want to sink a bunch of money into acquiring users when the app's not quite as polished as I'd like. So I don't know. I would say Startup School this year has been a success. And maybe just that's the smart thing to do, is to kind of like pump the brakes a little bit and not pour a bunch of money into advertising an app that's not quite where it needs to be. Maybe I need to make it a little faster, get a little bit more data, and polish a few other little things. Like, for example, 7-Eleven. All my transactions at 7-Eleven, for whatever reason, they add a little date in. So instead of having financial history listed one time for all my purchases at 7-Eleven, it gets listed a whole bunch of times, which isn't a huge deal. They're one of the only people that I do business with or spend money with that does that. And I actually took care of that in the original version of the app. Somehow I overlooked it in the big rewrite. But anyway, little things like that, and then the speed. I need to make it faster, maybe get some more data, then relaunch. But again, with the whole move fast, iterate quickly and whatnot, I think what the app looks like right now is probably what I should go with. I'm sure I could add, there's a lot of other features that I'd like to add in a lot of things. I think the way it is right now is probably pretty decent. Maybe that's the smart thing to do. Polish things up just a little bit, like little things like the 7-Eleven deal. Make sure the text message notifications are working well. Speed things up. One of my few users that I have suggested that I add the password reset feature back in. So I don't know, maybe, I don't know what I'm kind of thinking on the fly here. What is it? September? I don't know what a good goal would be to try and relaunch. I know they talked about that here. Probably one of the best videos one of the best lectures from Startup School this year was how to launch again and again. I think Adora Chung did that. And I don't know if the talk was super, super great. I'm not saying it was bad or anything, but I think that was definitely the best title. You know, you launch, it's a failure, fix your thing, launch it again. I've launched a bunch of times. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I don't know, maybe a good goal I'll set is like Halloween. Maybe I would be launched by Halloween. I think I'm probably not going to get into YC. I know that's delusional to think I'm going to get in anyway. I just think the app's just not good enough yet. I don't know how much traction YC wants. I met a guy this year at Startup School, got into Techstars, and he didn't have any traction. I think he was a pretty good talker. I'm a terrible talker. I mean, I talk a lot, but the guy seemed really competent and everything, even though, I mean, I don't know, I think that's probably not smart to fund people that don't have traction. But I guess that's where I'm at. I'm very, very tired. Even though my videos where I'm not tired probably just as crummy. But that's where I'm at. It's week 8 of Startup School. I'm super pumped because the app looks pretty good. I'm happy with where it's at. I just got a few things I need to fix. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do all this, but I don't know. I think things are looking up.